Orchestra. More specifically, school orchestras. They're a diverse place. It's where aspiring young musicians go to learn the fine art of music and contribute to a group to put together a lovely performance. At my school, you could be one of three things: a chorus brat, a band nerd, or an orchestra dweeb. These are also known as the places where kids end up if their parents forced them to, didn't want to take the boring general music class, or if you're a rare specimen, are actually interested in learning music. Oh, and then there's the thespians, but those guys deserve a whole video of their own. I fall into the orchestra dweebs as a cellist, proudly serving for 7 years now. I've got the necklace to prove it. Technically, the one I wear in real life is a bass clef, but shh, this way it's more universal. I also dabble in the violin. Yeah, that screech machine. Now, the experiences that lie in that annoyingly cramped music room have been the subject of more than a few stories, so let me share the magical journey of music education with you poor, unfortunate soul. Number 1. The learning process. So of course, all this talk about instruments starts with learning the damn things, but as anyone says that's attempted to learn something new, ever, it's easier said than done. Cue the screeching violins and breathy trumpets, and you've got an accurate description of my 3rd through 5th grade life. Well, more like 3rd through 9th, since no one in standard orchestra gave a damn! You'll also be introduced to the wide variety of stands, such as the graffitied ones that have been there since time, the ones that are so wobbly you can barely keep your music on it, and the single new stand that's perfectly balanced and pristine, and that everyone will fight over. However, even earlier than when you get those fancy noisemakers, a lot of schools have you learn the, you guessed it, oh, you thought I was going to leave out these classic pieces of tan plastic? Oh, wait, my bad. All the cool kids had their moms buy fancy colored ones, not just tan. Man, my friends and I could play the sickest hot cross buns you'd hear on that playground ever. Those early days are what everyone always looks back on with that classic movie smile as you picture your younger self sitting there staring at a bow, just like, what on earth is this stick with strings? This is supposed to make sound? 2. Tricks of the trade. So, you've learned to not sound like a banshee the second you touch your instrument? Good! Now to learn all the rest. By this point, you've been sitting in a music room surrounded by cheesy posters and obnoxious students for a long enough time to grow accustomed to it. Just kidding! The other kids will never not be annoying. They will just get progressively worse. Seriously, one time during class, this girl was on Instagram Live, while another was sword fighting with their stand partner. I mean, every string musician has done that at least once, but time and place, people. However, there will be a handful of people you'll grow to love in your humble little ensemble. I'll tell you, I've had the same stand partner for 3 years, and we've developed quite the bond. AKA, he puts up with my musical shiznit. I'm like a mad scientist raging through my studies, while he's just there for the ride, possibly fearing for his life. He gets a hoot out of messing me up, though. Oh, he and the stand behind me, too. If y'all are watching this, you guys suck. A key detail to playing strings is rosin. Rosin is this sticky material which is rubbed on bow hairs to make them stick more to the strings and provide a crisper sound. Oh, and it's basically drugs to string players. Woo! That stuff could be an air freshener. One thing I find funny is that dancers use it to make their shoes have more friction with the floor, smashing it on the ground and stepping across it to rub it into their point shoes. Of course, unless it's really old and crusty like school-provided ones, musicians don't have to powderize our rosin in order to use it. I can just imagine a dancer and a musician getting ready to perform together or something, the dancer asking,
"Hey, can I borrow your rosin?"
"Sure thing."
"Thanks."
Now she's got his pristine, shiny, spotless new rosin, and proceeds to crush it on the ground beneath her point shoes. Then there's all the other stuff that comes with playing strings, like obtaining the string imprints and calluses that shall last forever and be your battle scars. Oh, and then there's dealing with the nightmare that is tuning in the winter. You're gonna be sitting there for 15 minutes pulling those pegs, minimum. For brass and woodwinds, I'm not involved with them, so I know basically nothing about them. Oops. I think reeds are a thing? Huh. Number 3. On the stage. There it is. That big wooden platform that's gonna showcase your hard work for a ton of people to see. Let me tell you, being on a stage, performing for everybody, it's definitely something to treasure. And that included all the times something went wrong, and I proceeded to dwell on it with horror, I mean, joke about it, for the years after. I remember in elementary school, we'd have our spring and winter concerts in the high school theater, and when we'd get up there, it just seemed so big and intimidating, yet I look back on it now, and it's just not as scary. Just another stage. Of course, it was a very intimidating piece of wood. It makes you think a lot about, laugh, bro. The amount of things I could talk about when it comes to my own performing experiences are endless, seeing as there's still plenty more shows to put on in the coming days. But I'll just spare those for another time. Rather, I'd like to talk to you about your past or coming experiences up there. Naturally, stage fright will set in for most. I mean, what if you completely blank? What if you trip walking on stage? What if your string pops midway? What if... Stop. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You are in control of what goes down on that stage. You are the one that's worked your ass off to earn your place there. You have that spot for a reason. Now get up there and show those people what you're made of. Hard, pure, undeniable talent. Is it just gonna be a tradition that I say something cheesy at the end of every video? Maybe, but I like to be motivational. I'll brand myself memes with a purpose. Yeah, I like that. Hello, my doots! Thank you for watching that exceptionally long video. I'm surprised I managed to crank it out this quickly. I'm proud of it. Also, special thanks to Pano Penguin for voicing some quick lines in here. I think her voice fit that ballerina very well, don't you think? Anyways, I've got a new exciting video for you guys that's gonna be out pretty soon, so I'll see you then!